I'm always curious to ask about like your offer process. I feel like it just varies at so many places around the country, and when you're evaluating high school players, I guess what's that evaluation process like? High school and college scouting, the portal, and are you ultimately deciding who we offer and who we don't offer?
Yeah, absolutely. I think having a standard set there is really, really important. Now, we've got scouting departments, recruiting departments. Like, everything generally starts with the film, right? Like you've got to like what you see on film, and the further you are away from Tampa, Florida, from our campus, the more I feel like, man, if you feel like you got to offer a kid to get in, offer a kid to get in.
Yeah.
I don't need to have watched the kid's film, practice, combine film, whatever.
Awesome.
Like, if you feel like you got to offer to get in, great.
Yeah.
The closer you get to this campus, that phone call's coming from me to the high school coach, to the young man.
Yeah.
Again, try to be different, because I feel like that's not happening. Mm-hmm. Try to be different, because I've been recruiting so long that I know the high school coach still matters. Mm-hmm. Potentially the 7-on-7 coach or the O-line, D-line position trainer still matters. Yeah. So if we could take the step, like, and you got coaches where sometimes even as the head coach, you got to be like, dude, slow down. Like, being first isn't necessarily the key. Being early is important, but being right ultimately is more important than any of it. Yeah. And so I want to make the phone call to the high school coach. I want to make the phone call to whoever else is important. I want to make the phone call to the parents, like, to slide into kids' DMs and offer them, which happens a lot, is not the way to do it. And if that kid's going to go there to a coach that slid into his DMs, God bless him. Yeah. But we're still going to try to do it the right way. So the offer process, we have a pipeline, and generally it could start anywhere, but starts recruiting office to our young coaches, GAs, quality control at each position, to the position coach, to the offensive or defensive staff watch, to then me. And we try to we try to get through the process as quickly as we can. We have time set aside literally every day from January to December, where it's either a unit watch or a position watch in recruiting. We start every year, so we started this in February, start every year with a scouting school.
PrizePicks is my favorite way to get action on sports, and I've tried all the different apps. Daily fantasy, sports betting. PrizePicks is the very best. On PrizePicks, you pick players instead of teams. So if you know how players are going to perform, you can make tons of money on PrizePicks. On PrizePicks, each player has a set stat projection, and you pick more or less on that number. So for example, Steph Curry, more or less than 20 points. If you think he's going to have more, you pick more. If you think he's going to have less, you pick less. And when you're right, it hits. You pair that with a few other players, and you can make up to 100x your money. And the best part is, I have a 100% deposit match up to $100 for all of you with code ADAMB or the link in the description. So if you put in $100 on PrizePicks, they will match that $100 for you. So then you get $200 to play with. So use code ADAMB for that 100% deposit match up to $100. Link in the description.
We try to get through the process as quickly as we can. We have time set aside literally every day from January to December, where it's either a unit watch or a position watch in recruiting. We start every year, so we started this in February, start every year with a scouting school, where every coach presents essentially their position, everything from measurements.
Oh, that's cool.
From measurements to 40 times to shuttle times, to literally hand measurements, arm measurements, to intangible characteristics, to what you must see on film. And then we, as a full staff, will watch comps. So a guy that would be a slam dunk dream get here, to a guy that you would take and be really happy, to a developmental guy. And as we've done this, like, generally those guys stay the same. Yeah. And then we always watch a comp on our team to say, man, like, I want this, but longer arms, or I want this, but he's a step slow, I want faster. And so the entire staff gets to see it we talk about it. Like, it's a lengthy process, but I feel like it forces the position coaches to, one, teach what they actually want, which sometimes is harder than you think it would be. It makes them list the standards that are non-negotiable. So, man, tight end, right? You played, you coached the position. That's my baby too. So, man, like, they got to have 33-inch arm, because in order to be able to block in line, in order to be able to pass protect.
If you don't.
Gotcha. So, scouting department, other position coaches that are out on the road, young coaches that are learning and helping assist in the process. If the cat don't have a 33-inch arm, he better be running a 4.4 and jump 40 inches, and because you've got to if you're going to sacrifice arm length, the rest of it better be freakish. And so what it does is it allows you to cut kids off that man, this kid isn't going to make it. And so starts with the scouting school, then works through the pipeline on these guys to right now our coaches are out on the road, and every day. So today, 1 to 5, we sit. Young coaches, myself, our scouting department will sit, and we will literally recap yesterday's coaches on the road, guy by guy. Anybody I got to watch the film from yesterday at practice that they watched, or workout, or technology is incredible. They film everything.
Oh, really?
So I can now sit here and help make decisions on, man, like for example, a young man in North Carolina that couldn't get down here during spring ball or this winter. Man, like, the question was, is he big enough? Awesome. Well, here's a picture of him and coach together. Here's a video of him yesterday's practice or track meet or whatever. Man, that was the last piece of data we needed. Now I'll make a decision. I'll call the kid, his coach, our coach that was just there yesterday. Our coach has got the immediate feedback. That's our process right now through spring. And then I tell every guy, whether committed or not, but guys, specifically guys that are committed to us, like, your senior year matters. And so I'm on Fridays during the season, home or away, I'm watching all of our committed guys from the week before, and I'm giving feedback. And we've had several situations.
To the players?
To the position coach. And if it don't look like what you want it to look like, certainly to the players. Or if it looks awesome, certainly to the players as well. But, like, hey, dude, like, you haven't played hard in 2 weeks. Like, you ain't coming here if that's what it looks like. And we've been able to get some kids turned up a little bit, you know, but I think that senior year eval is where a little bit of our niche can be, because there's a lot of guys, and recruiting has sped up so much now. It's truly shifted a whole cycle. Like, we're right now, it's spring recruiting, but this is a contact period. Like, you're able to sit with the family, sit with the kids. And so it's sped up, it's accelerated so much with summer official visits now. Like, we're 2/3 of the way done with our recruiting class. And so there's a lot of kids still left in the fall that, especially here, where, man, like, we better be watching senior film. And if the guy that's committed to us isn't performing to the standard that he should be, specifically from an effort standpoint, then, hey, what else is there out there? And we were, like, a year ago, we were able to close on some guys that, man, I didn't think we could initially. Some guys that we said, man, are out of reach, that ended up not being out of reach, specifically here in Tampa, that I'm super excited about.
Best group of 5 class in the country, right? Is that the stat I saw last year?
That's according to the internet. We'll find out here in 3 years.
According to 1-3 and 247. You should film that scouting school. I'd love to watch that sometime.
I can show you my notes from all of it.
That's cool.